Welcome, Carson Floyd, new transfer to Iowa State. Many might say, hey, why would I have a new transfer to Iowa State on my girls wrestling podcast? But it does kind of actually work out because we met at a tournament where you were coaching girls, and
Yeah.
then you also have a nonprofit that's really important, and it kind of goes along with my mission of Voices Over Victories that I do on the side here too.
Yeah.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I still remember the conversations we had, 4 years ago. Really
Yeah.
fun I was fun seeing you coach as a senior going into high school or going into college, and
Yeah.
you had some really good ideas. Uh, what did you like about coaching maybe those girls before going to college?
Uh, well, first, it's way easier to coach women's wrestling than men's wrestling. I think there's a lot less ego involved and everything like that, personally. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a great opportunity just to go back and be able to help out. Uh, I'm very close with Cheryl Baynard, who is kind of the person over women's wrestling in North Carolina. So whenever she asked me to just be out there and help out, like, I mean, I jumped on the opportunity. I loved it. I mean, it's awesome. I would love to do it again.
Yeah. Cheryl is really. I've gotten to be good friends with Cheryl. Also, I buy all of my singlets through Cheryl,
Yeah.
and we talk every once in a while. So yeah, really really good person to have. Um, let's get into the first thing. What brought you to Ames, Iowa?
Oh, I mean, wrestling. I mean, gosh, they're good at wrestling here. Uh, I originally started out from Appalachian State, which is in the mountains of North Carolina, and I mean, I was all right. I mean, I qualified for nationals and everything like that, but I felt like a lot of times like I wasn't getting pushed to my limits. And so I was dealing with a lot of injuries. I actually just had shoulder surgery. My sling's over there, but just had shoulder surgery not too long ago. And I've actually had four surgeries in less than 2 years now. And yeah, I'm a little beat up, but I came here for RTC practice and I just realized I was like, after my RTC practice, I was learning a bunch of stuff. And I was like, wow, like I don't know anything about wrestling. Like I could learn a lot more. And so it was just awesome. It was such a great environment. I was like, I don't know what I have to do, but I have to stay in that room. I have to get there. And so I ended up just transferring to Iowa State just to be a part of the RTC. And went in day one, met Coach Dresser, and he was like, and they basically offered me a roster spot, and I was took it up immediately. So yeah, it was awesome. So happy for that.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, it's amazing how this sport of wrestling, you think you're doing well, and then you just meet that next level, you know.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you're,
shock.
Dresser, Metcalf, St. John, what a great group of guys to work with, not just in
So
wrestling, but just in life in general too. You know,
well,
the
there's like in here, like we had four coaches at App, and like it was awesome. And I'm very grateful for those coaches. But like when you get into this room, it's like everyone is good. Like even like the guys still competing on our team, like their levels like above like everyone else, the cream of the crop. Like and like even our coaches, like I mean, we have Coach Carr in there, and then we also have Chris Perry, who's a two-time NCAA champ. And we also have Marcus Coleman, David Carr, uh, and a bunch of other coaches in there that is just awesome to be around. Where, like, even not on our immediate staff, like, there's people in there that like help out that have insane knowledge of wrestling.
Yeah. And so this year you just came off of an injury.
Yes.
Probably going to redshirt this year and just train with as you can through rehab and all that. So, what's kind of your end goal for Iowa State?
NCAA champ. Man,
Nice.
I don't think there's any reason to strive for anything less. I mean, I'm finally at a spot where that's an achievable goal, and it's been achieved here. Uh, I mean, all the groundwork's been laid down. Like there's a road, and I just got to follow it.
Very good. Um, so we'll see you on the mat next year then. With
Yes.
Think you make any opens yet this year? Probably not with shoulder
Probably
surgery.
not. So I'll most likely medical redshirt this year. Try to get cleared around April. And then hopefully, I'm really hoping that I'm able to be full go and try to make the US Open and the U23s. That's still some of my goals is just to be able to push it at the US Open, try to at least be on the world team, which is top four, I believe. I would really love to do that. And then I would love to be on the U23 representative. So,
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's great seeing you. I'm glad. I'm hoping everything works out really well. What have you thought of Ames, Iowa so far? Compared to the mountains of North Carolina, it's a little flatter.
yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I will say, App State had probably the prettiest campus I've ever seen. I mean, it was just tucked straight into the middle of the mountains. So like you could walk out and you just see this gorgeous view and everything like that. Like it was awesome. But I mean, besides that, I mean, I got to give everything to Ames, Iowa. I mean, just everyone here is like all very nice and very talkative, and we're all very respectful. And then there's also the architect stuff here is like all the buildings are insane. Like we would joke around about App State, like it was placed in a beautiful place, but it was, I mean, the buildings were like it's kind of like built like a glorified hospital in the mountains. Uh, so like the architect, like architectural, I don't know how to say that word,
Yeah,
but architectural piece there, like I mean, it's not as you know pretty as it would be here,
yeah,
but it's awesome here.
yeah. Ames is a nice community. It's a good size. It's close to Des Moines. Lot to
Yes.
do. You're a little more populated on the east coast of the state or east United States. We're pretty rural out here, but it's still you're in a nice area. Um,
Yeah.
One of the big reasons we are talking today is the nonprofit you work for, uh, Combat for Connections. You want to just explain exactly what that is?
Yeah, so our nonprofit, it's a lot of which I actually have the shirt on today. But so basically we started out back in I'm trying to think of what year that was, 2021. Uh back it was Christmas Eve 2020. There was a kid named Anthony Foraker. He committed suicide on Christmas Eve, and he was actually supposed to be rising freshman on our team. We had a pushback season, so I had wrestled with him my eighth grade year, his sixth grade year. But then whenever I was a junior in high school, I haven't really talked to him or anything. And whenever I found out he committed suicide, it was a hard hit for me and the rest of the team. Just because, I mean, we weren't able to really be there for him and everything like that. So uh, I personally have had a lot of issues with suicide, and I've had encounters with it. Whenever I was actually a freshman in high school, I dated this girl, and she was suicidal, and I was 14. So
Yeah,
it was something where, like, even while being that young at that age, like, I had no idea how to deal with it, and I won't go too deep into this, but like, it was a hard thing, like because whenever you're 14, you don't really know what to do when someone's on the phone with you, you know, cutting themselves and attempting, and like it's a hard thing. Like you don't know what to do, and that's one thing that really wanted me to jump in and say, hey, let's get something going, is because I had no idea, and like it messed me up a lot mentally. Like I didn't know how I was supposed to be there for people, and someone that like this girl like told me, she was like, you're pretty much like, she was like, if it wasn't for you, I would not be alive. So and so like that's a hard thing for 14-year-old to deal with. And so I struggled a lot because I didn't know how to deal with it. And so I wanted to just about what you can do to deal with it, and that you can talk to other people. And so our goal is to actually create a web for everyone to just be able to talk and just break down the stigma about talking about mental health. Like it's okay. Something that I say, it's okay to not be okay. but it's not okay to stay like that. Like it's okay to like if you have something wrong, but if you're not taking goals to actively improve it, then that's not okay. Like you have to improve. And I think that's a big thing is going out and just talking to people. Like that's how you're gonna get better. That's how you're gonna feel better about yourself and everything above.
Yeah,
So
wrestling, there's a lot of little things, when I was reading through that, I even thought back to, mental health within our sport. And
mhm.
one of the things that affected me as an athlete, and then one of the that helps me as a coach, is after my senior year, my last match of college wrestling, I didn't know where I belonged anymore and stuff. So it was a really lonely
Yeah,
period of time for me. It took me several years actually to break out of that. But you know, that was early 90s. We didn't talk about mental health then. It
yeah,
just it's not it wasn't a thing. So, I was thinking about that, and then I thought about you had an athlete, on your team that committed suicide a few years back. Another thing that kind of changed maybe my thoughts was a wrestler friend of mine that actually got me started in girls wrestling. Share or not, I won't even mention her name. It's all right. But her
yeah,
family helped me get started in wrestling and stuff. And after she got out of high school, I think she just turned 21, committed suicide also. And it brought the girls wrestling community in our area together. So, man, there's a lot of need for
yeah,
what you're doing.
yeah.
What are some of the goals of your nonprofit, or how does your nonprofit work?
So right now we're trying to. So these shirts that I'm wearing, it's a purple shirt. It just says "Combat for Connection." I don't know if this one has stuff on the back.
Yep, it
These are the
does.
shoes.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have a couple shirts, but basically this shirt is just a standout point. Like it's to stand out to where if I'm wearing this at a tournament, it means hey, like you can come talk to me. Like I'm gonna be there for you. Like you can come talk to me, and like I'll talk about anything with you if you want. And so that's the big thing is like kind of being like a, a lighthouse for people, like just help guide people and everything like that. And that's a big thing about wearing the shirts. But it also we have a couple goals. I mean, mainly we're trying to build a web. Like we're trying to build a community where you can talk about it. So that means just connecting with people and connecting past and future wrestlers and every people that they need and just uh, give people the resources they need if they are ever dealing with something. Right now, like one of my goals is the community outreach and everything like that. And so I'm trying to raise awareness, but I'm also trying to start do stuff with camps. And we've done a couple camps for Combat for Connection where we'll go to a place like we did at Ale Brown, not this past season, but the season before, which was 2023. And we went out there and we basically charged, I think it was $20 per person, and half of it went to Ale Brown High School, the other half went to Combat for Connection. And we had a good amount of people show up. So it was good. And all that money just goes to help get more people in to where we can bring in, I mean, like bring in better clinicians and stuff to teach. But also during these camps, we come in and we talk about mental health and we just break the where like talk about it and raise awareness. Like at that camp, I told a little bit of my story, and Miss Williams told her story about Anthony, everything like that, just so we can just talk about it and just raise the awareness.
Yeah, well, that's really awesome. That I think just having people there, I love the idea of the shirt, and that's somebody that you can, have a conversation with, and just knowing that there are people out there that you can talk to. That's a great mission, and getting that information to people on maybe how to deal with those things. Um, I know I think we can, the wrestling community in Iowa would definitely get behind that. I have a few connections. We'll get started on that as soon as
Yeah,
we possibly
thank
can.
you.
I'll get some more information from you. Um, you know, I'd like to maybe continue with getting to know you just a little bit better, so those people that when we're watching you, not this year, but watching you next year, we know who you are. on the
Yeah.
mat. Get excited about I love getting to know the wrestlers more than just wrestlers. One of the things I like to say, and one of my things on my Voices Over Victory is wrestling is what we do. It's not who we are, and that's a big part of kind of my mission in there too.
Yeah.
So it's important to know who people are. Uh, One of the things I talk to people, I talk to nutritionists and all kinds of things, but after weigh-ins, what's the first thing you're having?
Oh, I'll, I do water weight cuts. So I cut, I had a bad problem with eating a lot. So, I mean, I limit what I eat now, which is still a lot. But after weigh-ins, I have a 20-ounce Gatorade, 16 ounces of Pedialyte, about half a gallon of water. And then I do peanut butter and honey on half a bagel. And then I do 10 slices of ham and a slice of cheese on a bagel with a lot of mustard and some mayonnaise, just so I can get my sodium content in also. And then I also eat some soup and fruits.
Nice.
So I try to hit all the goals of getting my sodium and water intake in while also getting the carbs from the bread and then the sugars from the honey and everything like that, sugars from the honey and the fruits. Just try to check off all the boxes where, and that's something where I mean, a lot of people can't eat all that stuff. Kind of an iron stomach, so I can down that food and I never have a problem. And but I think also think it's important, like never drink liquids cold. Like it shrinks your stomach. I think it really messes up people's stomach. So I drink all my liquids warm, and then I also add in hot soup just to make sure everything feels good and everything like that.
Nice. And of course, you said that wrestlers, we have a tendency to really like food. Um, what's that guilty pleasure food? What's something that you absolutely love to have?
Everything. I'm telling you, I get like it was really bad while I was at App just because I was dealing with so many injuries and stuff. But after my sophomore year of college, I injured my elbow. I had two elbow surgeries on my left elbow during season. And by the end of the season, my max bench press was 95 pounds, which
Oh,
for a
geez.
guy that weighs 200 pounds, it's not very good. Uh, so I was, I would just eat nonstop. And we have a place called Cookout out there. So I was probably right before bed, I would just eat as much as possible. And I would eat a 16-ounce steak and it's called a cookout tray,
Uh,
which, well, it's probably close to 5,000, 6,000 calories
oh,
all within
geez.
30 minutes of bed. But no, I'm very bad about, I eat a lot of sweets and everything like that. I'm big on ice cream and everything. Ice cream and pizza.
Yeah, that's ice cream. You just hit that's a food group in itself, I believe.
Yeah.
Really love ice cream. Is there a point maybe in your wrestling career that changed, how you felt about yourself? Like when did you turn the corner? Because there's got to be that time that you're like, well, I'm okay at wrestling, and then like, wow, you really stepped up and you winning national tournaments and competing at a high level. Do you remember that when that change up, when that change happened?
Oh, that's a good question. Because I mean, I've gone through multiple phases of that. Back whenever I was a freshman in high school, I didn't qualify for states. I didn't even make the blood rounds of which in North Carolina, that's pretty bad. It's not like state qualifiers in Iowa. Like we go regionals and states, and I didn't even make the blood rounds of regionals. I went 2-2. So I had a record of, I think it was like 19 and 22, and seven of my wins were forfeits. So like I was very, very far off from the national scale. But I actually went to NHSA nationals and bumped up to like 170. And I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. Like me and my buddy both did it. We were just going out there. And I made it to the quarterfinals. I'm like, okay, like I have a shot. Like I can actually like do good here. And I ran into Nick Feldman, and that man was a behemoth of freshmen, freshman that big in my life. And that man was at 170, which I don't even understand how he ever was able to make that. But yeah, I wrestled him at 170. He teched me very, very easily. But it really made me like start wanting to work harder and everything. So the next year I ended up uh, placing fourth at states in North Carolina. And then that summer, like right after my sophomore year of high school, I it was COVID. So the COVID hit like a week after our states. And so I went and stayed at my gym. So we have it's called Combat Athletics, ran by Coach Josh and Shellen. And so Josh Stanley, also my high school coach, I went over there and I just talked to him. I was like, hey, like, can I just stay here? Like, I don't have my license yet. So I just I drove up there and slept on the couch, and then I would train like 4 times a day. And I did that for like 2 weeks, and I was consistently always in there, just trying to train, trying to get better. And then from that time to about 6 months later, I made a huge jump in wrestling and weight. Went up from one place at 170 and I bumped up to 220, like 95, 220 and everything. Like I was making waves. Like I saw I was getting known like all across the state. And like I went from like a nobody to like someone where like, oh yeah, we got to watch this guy to wrestle. And so that was a big time, like turning point in my career. Is like I was like, okay, like the pressure's on.
Nice. Yeah, COVID it went one of two ways with people. Either they really did something to improve themselves or things went the opposite direction. Sounds
Yeah,
like you used COVID to improve yourself a lot.
yeah.
Um, Man, there's a lot of really good people in wrestling and a lot of people I looked up to, like when I was going through and stuff. And you're kind of at that age where, it's you still got some heroes in maybe the older guys, but who's someone that you really aspired to be when you were like a high schooler? Who's that one wrestler you watched?
So this is actually going to sound really bad. I actually didn't watch too much wrestling growing up. So I actually started like wrestling whenever I was like in seventh grade. So I was kind of like new to the sport. And I was very bad. So I wasn't, watching wrestling and stuff. But I mean, I actually, whenever I did start wrestling, and it's funny because now he's really good. I was really big fans of Wyatt Hendrickson. He was actually
Oh,
one of like the first people like I actually like started watching back like I think it was 2022 or 2021. Whenever he actually did an All American that year. He lost something. And then there's the rider heavyweight that ended up cutting down to 97 the following year, an All American. I watched him a lot. And then I'm trying to think, there's one other person that I also really liked watching, but like I really didn't watch big names. It was all like these like guys that All American. Those are the people I love watching. But I also did, I will say, first person that I was like, oh wow, this guy's good, is Chad Walsh from Rider University.
okay.
He was a two-time All-American there. He ended up coaching at Davidson College, which is about 10 minutes from my house. So whenever I was a sophomore in high school, I my mom reached out to him and I started doing individuals with him, and that man kicked my butt. Let me tell you, he was I've never been like I have not been, thrown around like how he could. I would get on a high crotch and I would be like about to finish, like about like I'm like oh, I'm about to dump him on his head, like I'm throwing. He would launch me on my neck. His brother was actually a national finalist for Indiana University. Uh, don't remember his name. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of bad, but his brother was a national finalist for Indiana University. Lost to Alex Dieringer in the finals. So yeah, I mean, great wrestling family. He actually
Yep.
Chad Walsh coaches at Drexel now, and his little brother actually wrestles for Drexel. He's their starting 165. So yeah, great family and everything like that. I love them, and great wrestlers to watch if you want to learn how to throw. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's how we learn in this sport, man, is getting dropped on our head a few times, it seems like. But
Yeah.
um, you've had a lot of really good coaches. Is there some phrase that you hear like in the back of your head from a coach that you've had in the past? You know, my head coach in high school used to always say, "Wrestle as hard as you can for as long as you can. Good things will happen." You know, little things like that. And I still remember that. You know, it's been 35 years since I've been in high school, and I still remember that phrase. Is there something that you remember from a coach?
There's a lot. I mean, I think I think the biggest moment for me that really turned like my thought process behind is my eighth grade year. So I wrestled seventh grade at Brawley Middle School, which is now Woodland Heights Middle School. But I had a middle school coach. His name was Coach Yarrow. And so I wrestled seventh grade there and I didn't do very well. I mean, I was back up, everything like that. And so I was wrestling and after season ended, I came every day to our practices and then I went to club afterwards for the whole season. After season, he didn't see me again. And so the next year I showed up and I mean, I'm more developed, like I'm bigger and, you know, middle school, when you get more developed, you get better. Like it's not like your technique's better, you're just stronger and everything. So I got stronger and everything like that. I was more developed. I hit puberty, everything grew 5 inches. I'm wrestling 138 and I was one of like the main guys on our team. And so I'm wrestling and there's one kid I would get bumped up to 145 to wrestle this kid named Mike Rank. And I lost him the first time. And then we wrestled later on in the season. I was to him again. He was the only kid in the conference that could beat me. And I remember like I went up to the coach. I'm like, I don't want to wrestle 45 for conference. Like, I want to go 38. Like, I don't think I can beat that kid. And he's like, look, I think you can beat him and like everything like that. And so I ended up wrestling 45 and I lost him in the finals. Uh, and I feel bad for myself and everything like that. I'm, pouting. I'm like, I shouldn't have been wrestling that weight class. And, instead of comforting me, he's like, yeah, I mean, the weight might have got you, but at the end of the day, like, you didn't deserve it. You haven't worked all off season. Like, you didn't wrestle a single practice. Like, why would you deserve to be a conference champ whenever you haven't put in the work? And so from then on, it really set something off in my mind. It's like, how am I going to uh, feel bad for myself when I'm not doing all the right things? Like at the end of the day, like I can't control sometimes, or I can't control what happens. But the things I can control, I better control. Otherwise, I can't complain. And I
That's
think that's a big thing for me. It's like I mean, I'm complaining about being injured, but yeah, my diet's horrible and my sleep schedule's bad. So how am I going to complain about overtraining and being injured if I'm not controlling what I can control?
yeah.
So it's
Good
definitely a
good mess.
mindset change.
Yeah, it is. It's important. Those little things. I never even thought about those things when I was going through high school. And then I've met a few coaches that talk about, everything in your life you have to do your best at because you can't shut it off on this thing. You can't be a really crappy friend and still be a good wrestler. You can't be
Uh,
bad at your diet. You can't, there's all that's all
yeah.
interconnected. To be the best version of yourself, you got to do it every time, everywhere. Um, so coin flip. What's your favorite position? Top down, neutral?
Whatever my coaches say. I mean, uh, so actually, I was always big on I choose bottom, I can get away. Like I was always very confident in that. This year, over the summer, I really developed a new series. Actually, last year I started it, and over the summer I was like, oh no, I'm going to start using this. And they always told me that, like, don't use that. You're gonna get reversed. All this other stuff that like, do not do that. And then I started hitting it. I hit it like the first three tournaments. We got to pick top. Like hit your move. And so from then on, like every time, like they're like, we need a pin. You're going top. And I was like, I'm wrestling to like the 29th kid in the nation. Like, why am I picking top right now? Like, and so that happened a bunch of times because I actually, this season, I was, I think, ninth or 10th for all Division One leaders in pins. I had,
Nice.
I think I had 12 D1 pins and like 16, like, not like all pins.
Uh-huh.
And so I was known for pinning people. And so even last season, I think I had more pins than decisions. So that was a big thing for me where it's like I go half Nelson and I go thigh pry and I just start rolling until I can stick someone on their back. So it is right now I'm picking top. So
All right. What's your favorite takedown?
ooh, I mean it's always changing, I'll be honest, but I'm big on low singles and ankle picks. So I'd say those are probably the two right now.
I wasn't sure. I remember looking back at the Junior Olympics. I believe you hit a really nice soup for five. Didn't know if you were on the
Yeah,
throwing side.
yeah. No, I mean, I wasn't allowed to throw it out there. Like, no, do not throw. I tried to lack off one time. It didn't get well, but towards the end of it, they're like, "Oh yeah, you got to get to your body lock." And I was like, "All right." So I'm really big in throws now. Like I hit I really don't know what these moves are called. Like, I'll be honest, most of my like learning stuff, like I've just taught myself. Like a lot of times I go like double with like an arm up. So they catch an underhook and I
Uh-huh.
go inside trip that side. If they step out of it, I try to hook their ankle, go like flat drop throw. So that's like a series that I've been really liking. And I really like the over unders of body lock positions and everything like that. I just started getting into headlocks, but a lot of stuff it's like only stuff that I can control. Like I'll go like wrist snap and then I'll take their wrist and put it over here and just try to throw it into a headlock type of situation where I can go inside trip if they turn in, but if their butt goes out, then I'm going headlock. But
Nice.
just stuff I'm just playing with right now, you know?
Always learning, always having fun. Got to have
Yeah,
fun doing it.
yeah.
Um, is there anything that we're binging on TV right now?
No, I mean, I'll be honest. I've got into anime whenever I was in college, so I'm watching a lot of anime. I mean, watching like One Piece, Black Clover, a bunch of stuff like that, where I can just start, sit down and just watch it while I relax and stuff like that. Just stuff, seems dumb, but stuff that's like a little bit of motivational stuff.
Nice.
So
What is your major at Iowa State?
it's a liberal arts degree.
Liberal.
So I was my parents own a plumbing company. And
Okay.
so my goal is either I'm going into coaching wrestling and everything like that. But I also would like to potentially take over the company and help grow it and become a good like plumbing company where we can actually help people and sponsor people and everything like that. So I work for them right now, but like my goal was to get a business degree where I can do that. And I did a professional studies degree, which is like you study whatever profession you're going into. And so whenever I transferred here, they don't have a degree like that. So it's like if I
Uh-huh.
went into business, only like half my credits would transfer. But if I did liberal arts, like 95% of my credits transfer. It's like I went from I had brought in 86 credits and I think they accepted 79 for liberal arts and
Oh.
like only like 36 for like the other stuff. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go liberal arts. I don't really care about the degree that much. So
Yeah. Well, yeah, you just need the piece of paper, honestly.
yeah,
I mean, you can do
yeah,
whatever you want as long as you got that piece of paper.
yeah.
Um, Favorite wrestling shoe of all time?
Ooh, I like hmm, the beat the streets shoes,
Yes.
the black, white, and gold ones. I wrestle in those. I love those. Those are my match day shoes. So I gotta choose those. I mean, I use those for big competitions and everything, and they haven't broke on me. So all my other shoes break on me very very fast. So
I'm trying to remember is Iowa State and Nike? Uh,
I
I
think
do.
so.
I'm
I
not
haven't
even
got my
sure.
gear yet. So
Haven't got the gear yet. Yeah, it's probably not gear time. For some reason I think they are, but maybe I could be wrong. There
I
isn't
think
that.
they are. I
So
think they
we'll have to see what you
checking out my bag. Yeah, I guess we're Nike. So
there you go.
we get all student athletes get these bags. So it's
That's a nice looking
pretty
bag.
nice. Also
Yeah.
got my pledgers thing right here. And it's
Oh,
just the Warriors pledge for
oh,
combat for
nice.
connection. Yeah. It just says, daily I will stand up for what is right, speak boldly, protect those who cannot protect themselves, support my fellow wrestlers and community, remind others it's okay to pause but not quit. There's more to the story. I am one, but connected we are many.
Awesome. Yeah, we definitely have to get connected with some of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, just a couple more questions and then we will be done for today. Uh, a lot of new rules changed, in the last few years. Is there a rule that you absolutely hate or a rule that you like to add to college wrestling?
There's a rule I would like to take away, that's for sure. You know, double barring the knee on top. I think it's enforced very, very hard on certain people, but not others. It's kind of it's kind of one of those things where only some refs call it. But like at NCAA's, I had a boot in with a boot in. I was going crossface, and I was about to take him over,
Uh-huh.
and his foot came under mine, and they stopped it, gave him a point. And I was like, I was about to turn him, and I don't know what I'd do. I mean, sometimes like if I feel someone has a boot in on me, I'll put my foot under their foot just so that sometimes they'll get called. It's just like I think it's a I personally think it's a dumb rule if you're not cranking on their knee,
Hmm.
because a lot of times your foot's gonna go over. Like it's how you get leverage. Like if there's no stress on the joint, I don't understand what the problem is. So I think if there's no stress on the joint and it's just over it, I don't think it should ever get called personally.
Yeah, so the consistency in the call is probably the most important part. Because yeah,
Yeah.
if you're not consistent with it, and if you're getting called sometimes, but somebody else isn't getting called on
Yeah.
it, yeah, it's
Especially at a school like App State, like you're gonna get called for it, but it's not gonna get called for you, you know. Like
yeah.
smaller schools sometimes don't get those calls.
Um, wrestling. Here's a question for you, and this is fill in the blank. You're back in school, so wrestling has taught me to blank.
Uh, it's taught me a lot. I mean, it's taught me that. I mean, everything I put in, I'm gonna get something out of it. Like at the end of the day, like your hard work isn't gonna go for nothing. I'm not gonna like even like during a match, like people think you're wasting energy. Like, oh, if I take a shot and I don't score a takedown, like I just wasted a lot of energy. And it's like yeah, I might have wasted energy, but they did also. Like I think there's a mindset change where it's like everything that I put in, like there's a reason. Like every fake that I do, there's a reason. Everything that I do, like there is a reason for it. So just be purposeful with everything you do in life.
Very good. And then I always leave a little bit of time for some final thoughts. It can be anything you want, but you know, what's on your mind today that you want to let everybody in the state of Iowa know?
Well, I mean, I would definitely want to talk about combat for connection the most. So I think this tattoo is something that I really like talking about. It's a semicolon, which I mean, forgive me. I mean, I'm not the most English person, you know, like I'm not very good at English and stuff like that. But basically, a semicolon is a representative for our lives. And whenever you're writing a sentence, you can either choose to end it with a period, and that's the end of the thought, end of everything like that, or you can put a semicolon to connect it with something else. You can put that semicolon down and change your thought afterwards. So, I mean, I think that's a huge thing for just like life. Like, instead of ending it with that period, throw that semicolon down and change the direction, change how you're going and everything like that. And like, it's a great focal point for me, but I also just love the idea behind it. And that's why a lot of our stuff has a semicolon on it. Like we have shirts that have it on the sleeve right here. Oh yeah.
Yep.
So,
Nice.
and I got this tattoo my senior year of or no, my freshman year of college. I actually went and got this tattoo Christmas, or I think it was 3 days before Christmas, 2 days before Christmas. And I went and got the tattoo on Christmas Eve. I went and brought Miss Williams some gift for the kids and stuff like that. And then I just surprised them with the tattoo and said, like, every time I get my hand raised, like, there's a reason behind it. Like, I'm gonna, like, there's something I'm fighting for and everything like that. So that's something that I really like to do. And I really like want to continue that message.
Yeah, that's
So
awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely link some stuff and I'll definitely be advertising for Combat for Connections and stuff
thank you.
for you. Good luck at school this year. Hopefully you get some mat time in, get that injury all healed up, and we're
Yeah.
definitely looking forward to seeing you on the mat next year.
Thank
Um,
you.
you bet. Have a good rest of your day.
Yeah, you too.